I'm John.
And I'm Random. And this is Inside Cannabis, where we take a look back at the top cannabis news stories that you need to know about.
According to CNN, John Boehner, former GOP Speaker of the House, tweeted out, "I'm joining the board of Acreage Holdings because my thinking on cannabis has evolved. I'm convinced descheduling the drug is needed so we can do research, help our veterans, reverse the opioid epidemic ravaging our communities." Boehner was appointed to the board of advisors of Acreage Holdings. Acreage Holdings owns cultivation centers, processing facilities, and dispensaries in 11 states. It aims to make cannabis available to any patient who can benefit from safe and reliable access. In 2009, Boehner was unadulterably opposed to legalization, so this is a major change. Former Republican Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld is also joining the board. Boehner and Weld said in a joint statement, "The time has come for serious consideration of a shift in federal marijuana policy." The two are very adamant about veterans' rights to self-treat PTSD, chronic pain, and other ailments. They both believe that marijuana's status as a Class 1 drug needs to be changed so that more research can occur and the drug will be more accessible to those in need. So what do you think, Random?
Hypocrite, hypocrite, hypocrite. Dude, the facts and research was out there in 2009, 2010, 2012, 2015. Guess what? It was out there 48 hours ago. They're getting paid, and now everything changes because of that. It's really weird that all they talk about is research and things for the vets and the PTSD. That was all out there before, but now when it's recreational, now he's getting on a board. I completely disagree with him. I disagree with, he's on the wrong team. I'm glad that he's now on our team, and I will take anybody for our cause because I know how it helps people, but he's not going to do any real work. He's on a board and he's just going to get paid. What he's doing is they want him to help that company get into all the states. I'm just going to be completely honest. I've been in the cannabis industry for a decade now, known a lot of the movers and shakers, gone to all the events. I've never heard of Acreage Holdings until this came out. And they're in 11 states. So it's very interesting to see what is all now happening. So I think this is a bigger telltale sign to other people also in the industry. But from my standpoint, dude, he's getting paid.
I agree 100%. This is it seems like a very common practice of the right and the GOP to jump onto these sorts of things late in the game, especially when there's money that's going to be there to be made.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So 2009, how many soldiers came back from Iraq, Afghanistan with PTSD? There was a swarm of them. And he was like, "Oh no, I don't care if that helps them." It had been medically legal in California by that point for 15 years. Exactly. The research was there, and I always love now we need more research. Yep. It's dude, no one has ever died from marijuana. That's the research you need to know.
100% agree. And let's go ahead and move on to our next discussion.
Israel is set to approve the export of cannabis. The Israeli government first approved medical cannabis reform in 2016 and is now set to approve the legalization of medical cannabis exports as part of a large-scale cannabis reform already underway in the country. Israel Minister of Public Security Gilad Erdan, and I apologize if I said that wrong, has now consented to a revised plan. The revised plan is due to be submitted to the government's approval in the coming days. Minister Erdan told Ynet News, "I support the use of cannabis for medical purposes as well as the export of cannabis due to our advanced knowledge in the field. Export licenses would only be granted to finished cannabis products and for medical use only and not the raw cannabis material." On April 20th, select Israel pharmacies will begin selling prescription cannabis products as part of their country's 2016 cannabis reform. Israel could be the first country to standardize cannabis medical products. The Minister of Health will serve as a regulator for Israel's budding cannabis sector by supervising growers, process facilities, distributors, and pharmacies. What do you think, John?
Interesting. I like to see this sort of thing on a global scale, and it's interesting though because Israel has been the first nation to openly support medical cannabis as a whole nation. So I really don't have a huge opinion on this, other than I'm always applauding good, positive steps forward for medical cannabis and hopefully recreational, because this really is a harmless drug.
I mean, they have been doing a lot of the research. A lot of the research that we even use today comes out of that country, and so I applaud them. And what a lot of people want to say, Amsterdam is the big, they're actually not as pro cannabis as everyone thinks. And so I am super pumped to see a country going, hey, this should be able to be exported. Obviously, I think if you look at some states like Oregon, California, they're doing everything to get set up for seeing it as an export potential, whether that's just exporting state to state or to other countries. And so I think this is all great news, and I see nothing but positive from it.
One question I will have to add is, where is Israel going to be exporting to?
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing. I do think the great part about it is that Israel is no longer following the United States like ironclad fist of like, no, you can't do that. They're making they're going, hey, we know better. We're going our own path. You guys be over there. You're behind the times. I think what's going to make real good news, and we'll report it on the show, is the first country to accept their export.
Exactly.
So anyways,
exactly.
Well, next story.
Moving on, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration opened up its public comment period on April 11th and are seeking interested persons to submit comments regarding the abuse, potential, actual abuse, medical usefulness, trafficking, and impact of scheduling changes on the availability for medical use of marijuana and its compounds. The comment period, which allows people to submit up to 5,000 characters in some documents, will be open through April 23rd. The FDA's public comment period on this issue is in response to the United Nations World Health Organization recent announcement that they are establishing a review of marijuana's illegality.
So I have to jump right in on top of this. Oh, bullshit, okay? They never read the comments. We've posted up, like, just recently, 80,000 comments got posted. Net neutrality got millions of comments. And then they're going whatever direction they want. That's even why they had it of, like, potential hazards and actual hazards. So you can just write whatever crazy shit's in your brain of what you think are the facts about marijuana when you don't have the facts or you refuse to believe in the facts. So do I think that everyone watching this should go comment? Absolutely. We need to get our voice out there. We need to be loud. This is one of the areas where we can be loud. But what I think we should do is go get every comment that every town hall meeting, every state meeting, every county meeting, that at every state that's been legalized, copy paste them and just upload them. Like, it makes no sense at this point that what new comments do you need again? And so I think this is political theater. I think it's a total waste of time, but I do think we should take our time, be loud, be heard, be vocal.
Right. It only takes a couple minutes to do, and I definitely agree that, yes, absolutely, being proactive is the only way we're going to change things and getting our voices out there. Do I agree with you that it doesn't matter in these? I do. Sadly, I do agree with that. And we've seen it with the FCC. And this also opens up the potential for disingenuous comments to make it through.
They literally
fake comments where they use people's real names, go in there and put a comment that opposes this. And that may not be what I think, but someone may comment in my name that they'll oppose this. And so it just opens the door for that possibility. And I just, but definitely do it. Get out there, be proactive is always my answer to those sorts of things. So
couldn't agree with you more. Moving on, next story. So guess what, guys? The U.S. legal cannabis industry is expected to reach $75 billion in sales by 2030, surpassing the soda pop industry, according to research firm Cohen and Company. Currently, 9 states and Washington, D.C. allow for recreational pot use. Cohen previously predicted that the market, assuming federal legalization, would reach $50 billion by 2026. According to analysts, I fucked her name again. Vivian Azer.
Yeah.
Vivian. I don't know why I hate that spelling. Just back it on up.
How far?
Okay, 50 billion. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Stop right there.
Hold on 1 second.
Would reach $50 billion by 2026. According to analyst Vivian Azer.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Yeah,
I hit the wrong side.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. Go up. Go up.
A little more.
No, just get it going, like.
Yeah. Gotcha.
would reach 50 billion by 2026. According to analyst Vivian Azer, new forecasts suggest that the market is already at that size. In contrast to per capita carbonated soda drinks, consumption declined to a 31-year low in the US in 2016, according to Beverage Digest.
Well, there you have it. I mean, pot's healthier than pop.
Way healthier than pop. I think this story links great with our first story, where the writing's on the wall, everyone realizes how big our industry is going to be, and therefore politicians now want to get lobbyist money for that. Right. So I only see this as good and better. Getting pop consumption down in our country is needed. I know that my Coke consumption hasn't gone down, Coca-Cola consumption hasn't gone down at all, and so I applaud everybody who has cut that awful sugar out of their diet. And so one of the things is when you smoke weed, if you're smoking the right weed, you lose weight. I mean, there isn't a side effect that's negative. And so I am so happy about this article. I'm just glad I got to read it.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, and I'm glad that these studies are coming out. We're seeing these numbers, and I 100% agree.
Nice.
In our final story, a mysterious marijuana syndrome is relieved by taking a hot shower. Life Science is reporting on this. A mysterious vomiting condition tied to marijuana use has an even stranger antidote: hot showers. This condition is called cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome, and the symptoms include recurring bouts of nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain seen in frequent users. The key fact here is that it's relieved by hot showers. I don't know if that's a factor or not, but we'll find out. Doctors' attempts to explain this are all pretty hypothetical. The current theory is that long-term use of marijuana can result in changes in the brain and nervous system. THC's relationship to the body's pain system can be a catalyst for cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome. Hot showers may relieve the symptoms because the stimulation from the hot water produces a different sensory signal that distracts the body from the pain signal. The body can only process so many signals at once. This still doesn't explain why some users develop CHS and others do not. 97% of people who suffer from CHS will no longer experience symptoms if they simply quit using marijuana. So let's just go ahead and open the discussion now.
Okay. Number one, discovered in 2004. So I want to be very clear about this. We have had people that have worked here. We've had people that have come in here who have been actually diagnosed with this. Are their symptoms fake? Absolutely not. I feel so bad for anyone suffering from vomiting, stomach pains, those kind of things. Those are real symptoms. Guess what, doctors? You need to do your job. Just because we come in and we're honest and say, yes, I smoke weed, doesn't mean you get to stop doing your job and be like, oh, you have CHS, you need to stop smoking weed. Dude, these are real symptoms. You're misdiagnosing people and you're inventing a disease that does not exist. 1/3 of cannabis or of all smokers are going to get this. Are you fucking kidding me? Guess what? 1,000 people walk through my doors every day. None of them have it. So there's some other 300 people out there that are all suffering from this. Complete bullshit. This literally makes my blood boil that doctors, people we trust, aren't doing their jobs, and they're saying people that they have this. And you know what, John? What have you been sick from? The flu, the common cold, anything else? And you just took a hot shower and it cured you, right? Like that's a normal thing for a real syndrome.
Exactly. I think this is just a lack of research. Obviously, we have that problem here in the country where we don't have the research to put in. But then when the doctors at their level are knowing this, that there isn't a lot of research, and then saying
just stamping
a blanket diagnosis, a blanket misdiagnosis, I think, to say that this is what's causing it, and then to back that up with, say, take a hot shower. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it.
So here's the thing.
And I agree.
We have had real people. You are constantly vomiting. You have massive stomach pain. Like these are real symptoms that made people go to the ER. And I'm just letting you know, if you don't have a lot of money, you are in bad shape to going to the ER, right? So you've gone to the ER, and then somebody literally says, take a hot shower or stop smoking weed, is just an insult to that individual. And so I hate to end on this story, but man, this really makes my blood boil. And I've already said that, but we really need doctors to step up and help people. That's their job. They need to help people. So,
Yeah,
anyways.
I 100% agree. And so I think we can end it there.
Yeah, I got it. I'm Random.
I'm John.
And guys, this has been Inside Cannabis, getting you guys the cannabis news that you need to know about. We will see you next week.